Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Marvel Contest of Champions news for a surprise edition on the 31st of August 2018. Yeah, I didn't expect this, but let's roll the intro. And yes, indeed, we've got three major stories to talk about. Oh, good, it's working. Yeah, yesterday I wasn't working as intended, and it wasn't good. But in any case, we do have important stories to talk about, from Omega Red and Emma Frost being entered into the contest in September, and it does look like that X-Men event was indeed correct. So I am in very, very good spirits for next month. But there are a few things to cover, so let's, without further ado, jump into the news. Our news begins with an announcement that the Summoner Appreciation Crystal, that in my opinion has actually been very good for me. I've got some decent luck out of it, some decent units, energy refills, 5-star shards and 4-star shards. I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. We get a chance for a further 7 days to utilize this crystal whilst it is in the crystal store for free. Oh Mike, you son of a bitch, you done did it again. Thanks, mate. And whether you think that we've been appreciated or not, it is still good to see this within the game for an extended period. And people's feedback were that they would like the event to have continued on a bit further, but I think it's one of these things where we're going to have to accept what we've got, and the Appreciation Crystal was a good move to have it extended for a further 7 days. On to our most important story, and that is the release of 20.0. And as you can see here, damn! It's Emma Frost, and as well, we've got Omega Red. Two fantastic champions that players have called out for. And it is the case that we're going to get them. I'm going to do a comic book history video, probably the end point of the weekend, probably Sunday, so do look out for that. If you're interested in that kind of things, keep locked to the channel. We do discuss that from time to time. Give you a little bit of incentive and also options and kind of a bit of a foresight when it comes to what source material, powers and abilities that they should have in game, and then comparing them off when they're released in game. But still exciting to see these quite prominent mutant characters being put into the game. Now there is an accompanying video which showcases a lot of decent stuff, in particular Omega Red's life stealing abilities, as well as Emma Frost's amazing kind of structure. It's not like an armor, but it's kind of like a diamond armor type thing. It's really cool concept. I'm really looking forward to this when these champions are entered into the game next month. It may even convince me to spend money to pointlessly try and go for them out of crystals, but you never know. It could be my time, and it could be anybody's time. So is it worth a chance? I don't know. But yeah, it's still great. Links in the description for this video. The article goes on to say that the event is going to be called Class Omega, and more than likely will feature Omega Red as one of the lead bosses. And that may be followed by Emma Frost being a X-woman, as is denoted by the X. In some confines, you could say, oh, she's going to be associating herself with villains. No, it won't be the case for this one. Omega Red will be your villain to go up against. Next up, and you gotta go right into the Danger Room. Yes, the Danger Room is going to be put into the game, and it kind of operates and works similar to the Black Panther event. If you remember that you went from like day to day and you had to like do all the days to then get the best boost to again go into the final day. It's not going to be exactly like that, but the concept still reigns true in that you have to do each day to get a certain pass and then go into the final day, which has the decent rewards to it. And in the uncanny rewards for the uncanny kind of Danger Room, it's like, it will be more explained in a moment, but that's the kind of general gist of things. The next bit of information, and as we know, as we discussed in the past Marvel Contest of Champions news, is Season 5 of maps in an Alliance quest they're going to change a little bit, not a huge amount. The list of changes are noted here. We have discussed this before, so I'm not going to regurgitate it, but there has been benefits for better rewards and as well as tier 2 alpha that will be shipped over to the player base, which is fantastic because we need more tier 2 alpha. I'm certainly reaching a point where I've blasted through my resources of tier 2 alpha, so I really welcome this change. There's a new feature called Champion Requirements, and I think this was road tested in Gwenpool Goes to the Movies or something similar. Not exactly the same, but something similar, where you had to have a certain champion based on rarity and other certain aspects of requirements in order to get through certain gates. This is something that is going to be road tested as a norm, or something that maybe Kabam want to kind of put in the future in this upcoming Danger Room event, which we'll discuss and a bit more in a moment. Next up, bug fixes and improvements. Let's talk about this quickly before we move on to the danger room and as well as champion requirements. So a lot of things have changed that didn't need to be changed. Some things I didn't really know about. Some stuff we don't as a community know about. Stuff that Kabam may feel that they should change or clarify. So to begin with, there's been an improvements to Domino. Will this sort out this very frustrating break of block type effect where we kind of feel that is really annoying? Yeah, no, don't know. They haven't really specified this if it is answering those questions, but it could be. But don't hold your breath. Red skulls improvements. That's happened. That's good. As well, we've got fixed an issue with Ghost. Would not gain a precision buff from a special one. A lot of these issues are stuff that I don't know about. I don't really see from time to time in the forum people complaining about, but it's good that they've resolved that. Issue with Hela would lose temporary fury effects. Improvements to synthesis trigger due to ability accuracy would prevent vision from triggering it for the rest of the fight. Well, that's annoying if you have a vision. And again, didn't see many complaints from people on the subject. You think that would be quite popular, especially with vision recently going in for hundreds and hundreds of pounds, hundreds of dollars, thousands of whatever currency. But it's disappointing to see that people put a lot of money into that character and not to get the full kind of inner workings is frustrating. Something that affects me is Rogue. Fixed an issue where Rogue and Loki were not able to steal Heimdall's aptitude buff. Well, that's annoying. Could have used that in a recent event, but obviously use something else. As we know, we've got improvements to Mystic. Well, not improvements, but we've got changes to Mystic Dispersion as well as Dexterity. And if you want to find out more details about the changes to that, then please watch yesterday's Marvel Contest of Champions news. Now it's time to look at champion requirements in a little bit more detail. This post was done by Kabam Goggy, and I don't think they're making these up very well anymore. Kabam Goggy, if you're really Goggy from Kabam, I would have said a better name would have sufficed. Maybe they tried to call him Kabam Google, and for whatever reason they had to change the name. I don't know. He was the artist formerly known as Kabam Spice, wherever Kabam Spice is nowadays. They just changed their names. Anyway, Kabam Goggy says that the reason for this particular new iteration of using champions, especially 2 stars and 3 stars, is all about being asked about this. I've not seen anything myself, but there you go. Let's kind of delve into the champion requirements. The main reasons that this has been put in by Kabam is in order to add a little bit more experience, a little bit more diversity in the way that you play Marvel Contest of Champions with certain champions. Because we go through, and as I say here, they've got people that just like blast through content, your Medusas, your Hyperions, your Blades, your Stark Spideys. The list is endless. And Kabam want to issue in a new way of thinking in that you use different champions. This looks like it's road tested as a 2 to 3 star champion. Maybe even will go higher. I don't really know. This kind of like looks like it is centered around 2 to 3 stars, but there may be options for other champions in the future. Will you be using your 4 star or even 5 star She-Hulk? And yeah, it doesn't bear thinking about, but that may be a thing in order to get through this particular content, because you have to use that champion. It's forced upon you, so do as you're told. Kabam Goggy goes on to give more specifics on the reasons for it, the development of it, and basically talking about, certain champions, blah, 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 better than others, yada, yada. Well, that's the thing with RNG. You talk about RPG, but what about RNG? And the fact that, hey, sometimes you're not able to get certain champions, the most amazing champions in the game. I know I've been bitter about that in the past, and I'm sure there are people that haven't, got even a Stark Spidey, a Blade, Hyperion, all those amazing champions, amazing god champions, than anyone else. There's going to be someone that has got total luck, and you're like, man, I wish I got those champions. But you're then left with whatever you've got. Now, this event is not going to be that. It's going to be similar to using all different manner of champions to get through certain content. It is a positive move, I do agree in that, but will it then add diversity and make it a little bit more fresh? Yes. Will there be an element of frustration that maybe players that rely too much on certain champions probably will get a little tiny bit butthurt? and especially by the knowledge of what's going to be added as nodes. And I really hope that they are, not as bad, because if you're thinking about using 2 or 3 stars, then they're going to hit some very nasty nodes if this is the case. And that is stuff from Uncollected and Act 5. Well, what if I have... What if I go up against the Bane? Like, what's the deal with that? And there's so many others, like Buffet. Like, yeah, there's so many other ones, other nodes that are in Act 5 and also like appear in Uncollected that may make you kind of think, hey, well, this is a little bit annoying for a 2-star to go up against. But I think we need to see it to then believe it. With the intricacy that has been put together with this, I feel this will probably be something in the future that you may see in content like Act 6 whenever that happens. But look to changes they're making now as to the dynamic of the game when it comes to new content. If Act 4 was anything to then go by, Act 5 was a kind of a stale representation of that particular mode. It's like a like-for-like copy, it's a carbon copy of that, and it showed no great progression route. But with things with the Thanos fight and showing how you've like changing the inverting thing, which is pretty cool, and maybe the specifics on certain champions, classes, villains, heroes, then it does show that there is progression from Kabam's part in launching something in the future. So maybe watch this space and take it in and be inspired, because it could lead to an Act 6 announcement at a later date. Don't quote me on that. I don't actually know that, but it seems fairly likely with changing of the way that they're doing things. This then leads us on to talk about danger rooms and... Kabam, dude, what the hell are you thinking? Let's get dangerous. Who the hell do you think you are? Darkwing Duck or something? And if you're of the age of between 25 and 40, you probably enjoyed that joke, and for the rest of you, just do this. So what are danger rooms? Well, as we've discussed a moment ago, we've got the challenger requirements, and that is specific to what champions and types of champions that you're bringing into each room on each day, because it's a daily thing, as we said. Danger rooms run for 7 days. Check it out, Retor, Craig, David. Again, this is the joke that you got to be in the UK, you got to be between a certain age, bow selector. I've lost my American audience. I apologize. I'll just do the news. I'll try and fit in a little bit of comedy that maybe people get from certain age brackets. In any case, yes. So this event, Danger Rooms, lasts for 7 days, and then on the seventh day, there is a special one which allows you to go into an uncanny room, which allows you to get some amazing rewards. It's important to do each day through all these requirements, as you can see here. So get your grind on. This is going to be a 7-day thing, similar to previous events like the what was it called? The Black Panther one. I think there was another thing as well, like Infinity Star one. So there has been something similar. It just amalgamates with loads of different ideas over the last year with the Gwenpool movies thing, specific champions that got to go into it. Yeah, it's going to be quite fun. But one thing that I really commend Kabam on, and that is a rarity by the way, is the fact that they're running an alliance event for this as well. So it's got this kind of team or kind of alliance participation, which is kind of cool, get some good camaraderie. So it's no rank rewards to it, which is a bit disappointing, but at the same time, it's good to see an event like this, especially that goes on one each week. So yeah, pretty cool with that. And if you want to see what the rewards are like for this event, then go to the link in the description and it'll take you over to them. This looks like a good event. Everything is ending on the 3rd of October. But when it starts, make sure to grind as much as you can. With the winter months drawing in, it's going to be all about, staying inside and kind of staying warm as much as possible. So yeah, this may be the point that Marvel Contest Champions becomes a little bit popular. Hopefully the improvements do make the player base a lot happier, and I pray that we have got a stable month in game, because we had a bit of an unstable month in the month of August, so let's hope that September is an improvement. I do say that each time. Hopefully there is a stable month. So that's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 31st of August 2018. It has scuppered a lot of my plans this evening because I was going to record Gods of War content, but with this video coming out, it probably will push a lot of deadlines that I had for myself. But that's okay. This video is already about 40 minutes long, so I'm hoping the edit is at least down to about 60 minutes, but fingers crossed. In any case, thank you very much for watching this Marvel Contest Champions news. Make sure you subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button. Like the video if you thought it was an interesting or fun video. Maybe share it as well to help grow the channel. That would be very much appreciated. Make sure you catch me for a live stream fairly soon. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.